The poignancy of the human condition really emanates in every single moment that we simply notice what it's like to be who we are. And it's also important to note that manipulation is when somebody disrespects you and then blames you for the disrespect. So, for example, if somebody says, "Ooh, I totally get what you're saying, but I'm still morally superior than you because I believe something that you don't." That is manipulation. That's self-righteous manipulation. And there are going to be a lot of people that completely misunderstand the philosophy of no philosophy when it comes to the full Sackian philosophy. The full Sack philosophy is that of no philosophy. And it's almost as if every word or every phrase, every sentence that you speak, when you are oriented from a place of timelessness, there are going to be so many people who hear one thing and want to believe another, or they're going to hear something and it's going to trigger them, and then they're going to project onto you. Or the third option is they're going to completely resonate with everything that you're saying because they also are oriented from a place of timelessness, or at least they're aiming to be that way. They want to understand the power levels above 9,000 with the full sack. And it's almost as if you're going to baffle these people with the energy that you have. Because when you are truly emanating from timelessness, you are timeless. So people are going to be on different planes of consciousness. They're going to try to ascertain certain things or try to put you into a box. And when you're untamable, it's like people don't know how to handle that. And of course, you know, like I've been studying the Eightfold Path recently a little bit more intensely, simply because I'm writing about it in my projects that I'm working on right now for the Regal Timeline theory. And in my research, like with the narrow path, for example, right? The narrow path or the straight gate, if you're reading from the King James Version of the Bible, what Jesus talks about, the straight gate and the Eightfold Path, there's like no difference. There's no difference other than semantics. And so it's like, this is going to be where you either want wisdom from wherever it comes, or you're going to try to blind yourself because you want to fit into the dogma of who you believe you're supposed to be in regard to a certain religion and whatnot, or into certain beliefs or whatever. And it's like, I don't collaborate well with these types of individuals that are not capable, at least, of hearing other perspectives. Like, I've worked with many different types of people in my Godlike Mastery and in my one-on-ones. And in the Regal Academy, we're all kind of just doing our own thing. Like, we're all just being as we are. It's really nice because it's just a very free-spirited online community, right? Like, in the group calls that we've had, especially since about February, I've had several people note that there's that free-spiritedness where in the group calls there's a lot more free flow. We're not so attached to certain things. We're not trying to be certain ways. We're just highly creative individuals that are operating on all cylinders. Like, we're breaking records, our own personal records. We're creating new things. We're building new things. We can't be stopped. The power levels are too strong. There's not going to be any type of manipulation that can really prohibit you. Like when the Bible says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, it means that. That's not just like it's not a moral. It's not a like, oh, it's because I'm so chosen that this is the case. No, 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 no. It's when you are operating and orienting yourself from a place of timelessness, there's no thing that can ever stop you because you're timeless. Like, that's exactly what it is. Like, you are timeless in your essence. You're timeless in your being. And all of these people that want to try to they want to control you, man. They want to control you through their own self-righteousness. And they want to disrespect you because of it. Like, religious spirits are going to be one of the most how do I say this properly? Maximizing your efforts to be highly strict with yourself for the sake of being strict is going to do nothing but hinder your relationship to the soul of existence. Call it Christ, call it Krishna, call it Allah, call it whatever you want. I call it the soul of existence because to me the soul of existence is just, that is what it is. We are one soul expressing itself differently. This is not an idea. This is not an idea like the collective unconscious. Like, the collective unconscious or the collective consciousness is a theory, absolutely. And yet I can say, in the spirit of the time, I've experienced this. I don't see separateness anymore. I'm aware of when even saying that can cause separateness because I recognize that. But here's the thing. I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. The people that are going to resonate with this are going to resonate. If you're a religious spirit or a depleted Kumar, fuck off. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Because I get people that love what I do, and I'm very appreciative, and I want to concentrate on those people. I want to focus on those people. But I also want to address the religious spirits and like the qualities of these depleted Kumars and betas that are trying to control everything because they feel like they need to be the moral police when it comes to these things. And it's like, you guys are so entitled. Like, the reason that you baffle people with your full sack power is because you cannot be like contained. You're controlled chaos. You're ordered chaos because you're just spontaneous. Like, the spontaneity that arises from your being when you are truly living in accordance with timelessness is everything just flows. Everything just works out because you just trust it will. You don't need to like pray more about it. You just be the trust. You just be the everything that works out. That's what it is. I'm not saying that you shouldn't pray, by the way. I'm not saying that you should or should not pray. I'm just saying that, like, because prayer and meditation for me are different. I know some people can see them as the same or very, very different, but I really don't think they're too much different. Like, meditation is noticing what it's like to be you, whereas prayer is more like you're in communion with something or someone more. Like, I can pray to whoever I want to. I'm not saying I do. I'm just saying that you can pray to whoever you want. I can pray to whoever I want. No matter who you are, you can pray to whoever you want. I hang out with Jesus, Maharaji, Bruce Lee, Bob Marley, Nietzsche, Carl Jung, etc. all the time. I don't want to say exactly what I do because I want to protect my own spiritual practice. Like, there's a saying in the Hindu religion where it's like, don't tell people about your sadhana, otherwise you might lose it. And that is exactly what that means. Is it's not necessarily like you'll lose it. It's just that your method is going to be your method. And whatever method you use to get out of methods is going to be the thing. Now, some people, like the full sack power, man, for me, like I've thought a lot about this, right? Because and not really thinking about it, but just more like letting myself contemplate it. It's like, well, why exactly am I in the position where I've been celibate for actually over 5 years, and I've been on semen retention, the actual practice of semen retention, for 4+ years, and I've only relapsed the one time 4 years ago. So it was April of 2022 when I found out about semen retention. I had started to practice it kind of naturally, but I didn't really know what it was exactly until April of 2022. Then in May of 2022, I decided to purposefully relapse, to try to get myself to feel what it was like, because I had only gone like a week or two without a relapse, you could say, even though I didn't have the vocabulary or the language to describe it up until that point. And then I decided, okay, after 3 weeks, I'm going to purposely relapse and see what happens. I purposely relapsed after 3 weeks, and holy, I felt so terrible. I was so anxious and so disgusted with myself that I just said, you know what? I'm not even going to do that ever again. I just don't want to. I just decided, the soul of existence, God, gave us this ability to just, boom, we can decide. And it's important to note also that the richest people that I've ever worked with, whether it's in Godlike Mastery or in one-on-one sessions or in the Regal Academy, and I don't mean rich as in just like the material sense, even though that is part of the process. Like, I've worked with multimillionaires, and I'm not saying that to flex, I'm saying that for information. I'm just giving the information here. So the multimillionaires that I worked with, they work like lions. They work like absolute lions. They'll go super hard for a duration of time, whether it's a few months, whether it's a few weeks, whatever the case, and then they'll do absolutely fucking nothing. They will do nothing for like a few weeks, a month, whatever the case is. That's just the way that they worked. And I found that to be very interesting because in my view, I thought that I had to work super hard, super consistently forever in order to get like ahead, right? And I thought like, okay, well, I have to do this certain thing for this certain duration of time, and then I'll be rich, let's say. I used to think that years ago. But now it's like, well, money just comes easy to me. Richness is part of who I am. But it's not that I'm attached to money. It's not that I'm attached to the identity that I have with money. It's not that I'm attached to the identity that I have with my religions or my spiritual practices or my methods or anything else of the sorts anyway. That's the power of the full sack, man. When you're just not attached, you're so overflowing that you're just not attached. You're just not attached to anything because there's no reason to be attached. Everything changes anyway. What are you going to try to do? Cling to any form of reality? That's insanity. That is absolutely insanity. To try to cling to anything. And this is why you baffle people, because you're not clinging to anything. At least you're not aiming to be. Maybe you might accidentally find some attachments, because that's the only way that you're going to learn what your attachments are, is you're going to have to kind of stumble into it. But no matter who these people were, they were not, like, they were open to hearing different perspectives. And I don't think that anybody's going to be truly free if they're so strict with themselves that they're not open to different perspectives. Now, if you want to be disciplined in your practice, that's totally fine. Or with your weightlifting or whatever, I'm super glad. I just hit a PR today with my squat, and that was amazing. But I'm not attached to like that. Ooh, I broke a PR. Now I'm enough. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm getting stronger. Never thought that I didn't think that I would continue to get stronger the older that I get, but apparently I am. But again, it's not about even being older or anything of the sorts. It's just, are you going to grow or are you going to let yourself die? Because you're either learning and growing and living in the truth, or you're dying. Or you need to let something die because you're clinging to it. But that's the true power of the full sack, and that's why you baffle people, because you're not trying to cling to anything. You just want to be left alone and chill out. Enjoy some sun, sunbathe a little bit, maybe smoke a little tobacco later, you know? Oh my gosh. Yesterday I made a really special treat for myself. Even though it really wasn't that bad. Like, it was a really special treat for me because I've never done it before. I never tried it. So I made these, well, it's kind of like homemade banana Butterfinger ice cream. So what I did was I mashed bananas, put some cocoa powder in there, put some cornflakes, like some just raw cornflakes, the kind of cereal. And then I mixed it all with some peanut butter and stirred it around, you know, and put it in the freezer for an hour or two. And I had that for dessert last night because I wanted to celebrate certain things that were going on in my life and certain things that have yet to come, because it is better to celebrate who you're becoming and who you want to be than it is to celebrate these cultural holidays. But yeah, that's what I celebrated last night. And it was so beautiful, it was so nice. I was like, man, I just found like my new favorite treat, and it's really not that bad. Like, it's really not that bad at all. It's like bananas, cornflakes, cocoa powder, peanut butter. It's really not that bad, but it tasted amazing. And now, because I used to love Butterfingers growing up, you know, I used to love Butterfingers, but I don't like the taste of them. I mean, I haven't had them for years anyway, but like, I don't like the taste of Butterfingers. It's just the chocolate that I taste in these treats now. It's just too. Like, it's great. It tastes good going down, but immediately I feel the sugar high, and I don't really like the sugar high anymore. It's kind of strange. Like, I much prefer the groundedness of other foods. But anyway, that's beside the point. Point is, the full sack power, the full sack philosophy, or no philosophy, is everlasting and always growing. So, with that being said, I trust this message reached those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. And if you're interested in the Godlike Mastery offer, go ahead and apply in the description box or in the comment section below. That's where I have it linked. I do not accept everybody for the Godlike Mastery, but this is a you choose me and I choose you type of a thing, right? So, otherwise, you can join the Regal Academy. Be blessed. Peace be with you. And until next time.